I stand right behind my target, and I look for a line, and maybe there is one, you know, in the tile in the floor, or I have to draw an imaginary one. But I put my kneeling roll down on that line. Very carefully. I don't throw it. I don't kick it. I put it down there because exactly where I want it is important. And then I stand right behind the kneeling roll at a slight angle. Give myself high water pants. Right? Shooting pants, pull them up nice and high if they're wearing shooting pants. And then I take a big step, a really big step, and put my heel on that line. Put my heel on that line. So it's heel, kneeling roll, and then I kneel down. Now this is wrong, right? This is not right. My leg is too far forward for me at this point. So I grab it and I slide it straight back towards my kneeling roll until I get it where I know it's supposed to be, which for me, it's a little sticky up here, just slightly forward of vertical. So there's a slight angle here with my calf. Get closer. I don't bite. Oh, they're videotaping it and everything. All right.
Pressure.
Elbow on the knee. And you can put it in a number of different orientations, but we're not here to talk about that. And then I do a balance check. What does this look like? Okay, you can call it T-bowing, all right? But this looks like kneeling, right? Because my hand is up here in where it would grab the stock pretty much. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to sense my balance, right? And then what I really want is for myself to be feeling that I'm going to tip this way. And I'm not right now. So that means I'm quite balanced in this position. This is wrong. Because why is it wrong? There's a weight of my rifle, right? So that's going to influence things. So how do I fix this?
Tighten up.
No.
Toe.
No.
Heel. Lead with your knee, follow with your knee.
Not quite sure what that means.
Meaning move the knee first and then the foot?
Nope. Okay. If I feel balanced, meaning I don't have enough bias this way, I need to move both my heel and my toe, the whole foot, slightly to the right side, so that I get more of me over on the left. And believe me, there's plenty of it.
So your right knee doesn't move at all?
Well, only other than it's kind of moving maybe on a slight.
I didn't mean
circle.
your left knee, I meant your right knee.
No. Nope, that doesn't. This is just here because it has to be. Okay. So now I check again. For a relatively light rifle like this, I probably don't need what I normally feel. So it's much less, and if I don't stop myself, I'm going to go. All right, that kind of feeling. All right, so we've done that. We do the balance check. You do it by left and right, moving of the whole foot, and now we're pretty close to having this as a vertical plane. So all the force goes straight down into the ground, and we got a vertical plane here. Now we need to put the rifle in. Oh, what have I failed to address?
Sling.
No.
Shoulders?
Shoulders and hips. Okay. My hips are pointing from roughly 10 to 4 on the clock. If you look straight down over my head, 10 to 4, my shoulders, with my spine in a neutral position, much, essentially the same angle, right? When I put this elbow out here, I may lean forward a little bit, but the shoulders and hips are still parallel. Maybe they're not lined up exactly one over the other, but they're still parallel. Now we add the rifle. Okay, notice Anatoly, you may want to move slightly. Okay, so notice I didn't move much of anything except to grab the rifle.
This is where the athlete is tempted to quickly.
Oh,
adapt.
of course. And what do? Then they destroy the nice position that you've created.
Exactly.
So, and that they have created. So, and you can see, oh my goodness, I'm pointing at the fire alarm at the top. That's not good, is it? Because that's not where the target is. The target's essentially straight ahead of me. So, what do?
Butt stock.
Okay, we can do some things, right? We could maybe lower the butt plate, or lower the butt plate, right? To get the gun more level, right? We can also do what?
The left hand.
What can we do with the left hand?
Move it forward to raise the barrel up.
If I move it forward, what happens?
Lower the barrel.
Right. If we go back, the gun goes up a little bit. But that's really the sling length that's influencing that. That's a hand stop and sling length. Okay. If the gun is just too long, what does that do to my shoulders? Pushes it back, right? So if the stock were just too big back here, right, that pushes it back. Or if the stock was way too short, now I'm doing this. Anybody see any of their shooters doing something like this?
All the above.
All of the above. So, if the stock length really is much more, where does the head go in relation to the sight? So adjusting how long this part is back here gets you the sight and eye relief. But by tuning where the hand stop is, just the hand stop, we're not changing sling. This is how they get the really short sling kind of thing and messing stuff up. So just changing where this hand stop is. Okay. We'll fine tune what the parallelism of the shoulders and hips and making it much better. Can I answer the question?
That's good. Yeah, and when you go up to an athlete that's shooting kneeling, that's maybe having some challenges, they're never having problems, having some challenges, ask them what the hold looks like. And if the hold is left-right, then I found that rotating that left foot more parallel with the right leg reduces that movement. But in my career, I never went to the extremes, which I should have done. I always go, if you're changing your sling a little bit, okay, that's great, and I stuck with it. I should have gone one more. Is that better? We need to find that sweet spot. So I never did experiment enough and go to the extreme, so I knew that this was the best one. I might have missed the best adjustment, and I could have done better in my career.
Yeah, go too far slightly and then come back.
Yes, sir.
Optimal.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So then you're more comfortable that's really a good spot.
Yeah.
The sweet spot is very, that's it, or very close to that.
Okay, and now let's talk about natural point of aim. If you're shooting multiple targets, we have an issue, right? We have to point the gun at some other place each time. So, in order to go left and right, what do we do?
Pivot on your right foot. Pivot on the nailing roll. Pivot on the right.
Well, if we can point the toe just a little bit. That should bring us over one column. We're just pivoting around the heel. And that should bring us over just enough to move one target over, left and right. How about up and down?
On firing hand.
Maybe a little bit of sling length, or if you have one of those micro adjust slings, that helps a little bit. But sling length or how much air you do hold in your lungs can help, you know, kind of fine tune up and down. But shooting on electronic targets or single bolt targets, you know, once you set that position, it should be pretty good. Now, how often do you check natural point of aim?
Every shot.
Well, that's a school book answer, but how do you actually do that? You know, are we going to actually like play around with it?
Exactly.
Follow
They can
through.
follow, you get them in the habit of following through for 2 or 3 seconds after every shot, that's an NPA check too. And I found that one gal at our range, really an excellent shooter, I think she placed at the Nationals in Fort Benning. I said, hey, you need to follow through more, because I noticed some of them were great, some of them were very short. And she came back to me later, boy, you told me to follow through, I started doing every shot, my grips got tighter. But it's an NPA check as well, if you're relaxed.
We preach that all the
Yeah,
time.
great. What else?
Yeah, so, yeah, absolutely. It's also part, it should also be part of the normal setup of preparing to shoot the shot. So as you're breathing and exhaling, in kneeling, which way does the gun go when you inhale?
Yeah.
It goes down because it's constrained by the sling and hand stop. So it goes down as you inhale and up as you exhale. And then it should stop on the center of the target when you're in a relaxed state. If it's not there, well, that means don't shoot. Don't use muscle. 5 minutes only. Jeepers, Nelly.
And you've got everybody out of their seats,
And everybody's, yeah.
hanging on to every one.
Now, yeah, I think we're okay.
Can you get up, Doug?
Oh, no problem.